In this video, I will quickly show you how we can create a new account if you don't have one for Autodesk. So we can use Fusion 360, how to create teams, what teams and projects are, how do we configure the interface of Fusion, how do we open and save and share files. Okay, so if you don't have an Autodesk account yet, you can go to create a new account, fill all this out. And when you are done, then you will get an email to verify your email address. You can turn on the notification system. And once all that is done and you log in, then actually Fusion will ask you for creating a team. So if the team, that's really important since we're in an academic environment, I would like you to name your team first name and last name. So that's you. Because inside that the team, later you will create a project for the course, and to the course you will invite me. So for example, the project could be CAD 2 interior design, furniture design, or industrial design 3D modeling. Very good. So then when you logged into Fusion, here we can close this button. You will then probably see the learning panel. You can close it too. And there are a lot of tutorials, but hey, that's why you have me. So I will take care of that. And then the first thing you really quickly need to do is click on the subscribe now button. And basically you need to verify your academic credentials. You get a few more emails. And when this is done, you should get kind of like this notification. So I, for example, clicked on enable educational access, and it took 1 to 2 days for all this to take place. And then today, so this is kind of like day 3. When I launched Fusion first, it said 28 days trial left, and then it switched to educational license. So that's kind of like the way how the whole license system works. If there are some problems, you can go to Autodesk free student license, go to their website, then we can log in. And you can go to get help and go to the virtual assistant. And from there, they should be able to make everything work. But pretty much this is a very flawless system. It might just take 1 or 2 days for your academic status to be approved. But in the meantime, then you can work with the trial of Fusion. Okay, so with that said, let's go to Fusion, and I will log into my account. So for example, easy5554@wayne.edu. There, and then you put in your password. Takes a moment. Then let's actually configure Fusion first. So you go to Preferences, and you want to have Z up, Fusion 360, free orbit, and copy all the other settings. Recovery time, by the way, this basically means when Fusion or your computer crashes, at what intervals do you want Fusion to create a recovery backup? So when then you restart your computer or Fusion after it crashed, all this stuff can happen. The software will tell you that there is a recovery file, and it's created every 5 minutes. I would just keep it at this value. We can go to design. Just simply copy all these settings. That's pretty good. And now this is up to you. Default units for design. Do you want to work in inches, feet, meters, centimeters, millimeters? Since I work also a lot in object design, so product design with Fusion, I actually keep this always at millimeters. But we can inside the design always change um, the unit system. So I have to actually do one little step. So this is not something you need to do, but I wanted to show you something. So this is the way how your Fusion will look like X and Z, and then you see Y is up. So the Y-axis is the up vector. And when we go to preferences and set this to Z, click apply, okay, nothing changed. And that is because we need to create first a new document. And now you see Z is up, X and Y is horizontal. Okay, good. A little bit of quick navigation. Data panel, I will go to this in a moment. Open save file. We hardly really use it. Here are different modes. Primarily we are in design or maybe render. Here are all our modeling tools, solids, so volumes, surface, polygons, sheet metal for the ID people, more tools. We might not really use those a lot. Here we will see our design. So all the objects will be listed here. And on here we have the timeline where the software will capture all the individual modeling steps we do. So we always can go back and modify them. Some more navigation for rotating, look at, pan, zoom and all this stuff. Kind of like display settings or the environment based on how you would like to work. Grid snapping, keep basically adaptive, yeah, no, the same numbers. That's all pretty good. Incremental move, you want to turn this one off because otherwise it just would move in millimeter steps or inch steps. So if you go to document setting, here you see the setting. When you click on it, we can override it. And that's actually how easy you simply change the dimensions. That's it. Here are some views. I will explain this more over time. Here we have the 3D navigation cube. Click here and select orthographic. That basically means when you go into these views, it will be an orthographic view. I find this a lot easier to work with, particularly with objects, than perspective view. Because when you look at the side of a table, we really see the front and the back side lining up and not being perspectively foreshortened. We can click on these elements here to navigate around. We can also rotate the view. It's kind of like an AutoCAD home. To do the rotation yourself, middle mouse button is pan, shift middle mouse button is rotate, and then the scroll wheel is zoom in and zoom out. And you can see that my rotation is a little bit wonky. I forgot to make sure that this actually should be constrained orbit. My fault. Okay. Or it's actually up to you how you want to work. Because now, if I rotate, you see it goes left and right, up, down, but it doesn't really rotate around the third axis. I find this a lot easier when navigating my view around an object. Great. Now let's take a look at how our files saved. How can we open them, share, and where they're even really stored, because Fusion operates quite different than most programs. So here, upper left corner, let's go to show data panel. And you see your name here, this icon, Teams account. Here's our all the active projects, something owned by me, shared with me, etc. And when I click here, there it says Klaus Gunen. That's actually the team I created at the beginning when I launched into Fusion with this new account. If I click on the cog, yeah, thank you. There I can actually change the name and save it. Very good. So in case you actually have to adjust the name of your team, this is the way how you do it. Again, use your first and last name. because then on my side, I will see you later actually as your name. And then when I log into your name team, then I see the project. So 3D modeling or whatever you share with me. Okay, very good. So I'm inside my team and I will, since I haven't created a file yet, simply open a file and we're going to pretend that we just created this file. Now we would like to save this file. So there are two ways. We can either click here or go to save as. Go to save, not save as. And I will navigate to here, make a new project, and this is for furniture design. So furniture design 2021. Very good. I will give this a logical name. So this is the console table, direct modeling study. And when I click on this, you see the location changed. And now I click save. So there's a new project. If I double click, there you see my file. Very good. When I close this one, it automatically saves it. When I double click it here, I will open it. Now you get a preview, version 1. What does this mean? Let's just add an amazing cube. Pretty cool. Very good. And after 2 hours of hard work, we're going to close this. Automatic save and close. Yes. So every time when we click this X, it will save the file. You see, it's saved. And look, it says now version 2. So you don't have to save as here to make copies of your steps. Fusion actually keeps the versions automatically for you. We can always at one point actually go back to a previous version, for example. Okay. So you keep in mind now there is that cube. I would like now to give access to this. So you actually will invite me to this furniture design project. So let's go to people. Then we type in my faculty email address. There we are. And you also see, while this says class Kunen, now this would be your name. You're the owner and you're inviting me to it. Very good. Okay, so now I will actually log out. I got invited and I will log into Fusion with my other account. So I could show you how it then would look on my site. Give it a second. There. Okay, I have to get the email address. There, settings, I can copy this out. Passwords, Autotask. Okay, so there I am now. I'm inside my other account. Very good. I go to here, show data panel. And let me go back to here. So here again, I see my all projects and all the stuff. I have actually a very old account. You see here, single user. You don't really see this anymore. But here now I see all the teams I'm members of. So here is class Kunden student. Now this is the folder or the project where I invited myself to. So I can click on this. And we'll take a moment. So there is actually now joined by me. I have to show it correctly. There I can see it's our furniture design 2021. And now I can see actually your file. So I'm accessing this file now inside a different account. So essentially this would be your file and I take a look into it through my account because you give me access to that class project. You can obviously also create projects or teams for yourself to be private. And then copy files left and right. So double click. So I will open it because you said there is this queue, but I do not know how to remove this. So I will help you with that and remove it and save it. And you see here's my my name because I was editing it. So I parked it. Now this icon is gone because I closed the file. Now somebody could open this file again. Okay, so let's actually sign out. And we go back to my student account. So and there we are. Very good. So look, you see that thing is gone. So you see the beauty of this way of sharing files or collaborating online is there's no exporting and sending a file to me. I open it and I change something and I export it and save it, send it to you and you open it. This is just a terrible thing of the past. With Fusion, we simply collaborate with the files online. So with that said, so you notice there was no literally saving or exporting and sending files. The file, when you save, is being saved or currently online. It's stored for a short period of time, but primarily it's being uploaded to your online account or your online storage and is saved there. The nice thing is if you go to a different computer and you log into Fusion there, then you have access to all your files online. So it's perfect for mobile working and also for collaborating. Another benefit, if your computer goes up in flames or fails to work, you have a hard disk damage, at least the most important thing, your digital work you spend hours and hours on isn't gone. It's just online. Okay, very good. So with that said, what else can we do with files open and save? So you see here, when I go to open, I can open files from various projects. I also can go open to my computer. I can bring in a new Fusion file and look at that. I can even open a Sketchup file. So this file will be converted. There's upload progress. And once this is done, it will be finished. In the meantime, I will open this table again, go to File, and say Save As. But I want to save this on my desktop. There's no desktop here. No, you see, I can make a new project, or inside this project, I make a new folder. If you want to have really a hard copy of this design on your jump drive, then you have to go via export, because then there we can export this as a Fusion file on my desktop or wherever you would like to save. For industrial and interior design, why I really like working with Fusion is also it can actually open and it can save to SketchUp. So I can use Fusion simply as a better modeler for all the shortcomings SketchUp has and not be limited by the modeling problems or limitations SketchUp has. Do my work here and then bring it into SketchUp for presentation purpose. So I just select the file and then say export. And then actually it's running the export. It will take a moment and then it will be on your desktop. Here's actually now the SketchUp file. I can open it because it's finished being converted. There it is. Okay. And now I can save this one. Save. And we see there's now the Fusion file with the SketchUp model inside. So it's also really, really nice, for example, if you need to design a new element for an existing SketchUp model, you can bring the model in Fusion, add what you need, and then export what you created back into SketchUp. Very good. Okay, I think this then basically sums everything up, how to share files, save files, open files, import files, export files. And that pretty much, yeah, that's it. Awesome. Now, there's always at least one thing I forget when I'm done, and I didn't show you how we can actually take a look at these files online. So we can go to view details on the web. And okay, so it's pretty much the same. So here's the file. We see like who's using it, etc. Here is the project. You see all these two projects. Here's then also our kind of like the root directory, if you want to call it this way. There are various ways we can open it. Go to rename, copy, and move, by the way. So we can, for example, create a new project. I call this test project. Open, closed, secret. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there are various options you can use, and just go with open. Okay. So there's the test thing. So, and then let's say this one we would like to move. And then it would tell us, okay, we can move this maybe to this project. Yeah, so then we just move it over. Okay, so let's go actually back to Fusion. Let's refresh our view. You see the file is actually gone now. And there's actually also now this test project. Here in a similar way, we can right click and then say open, insert into current design. This actually means that this file is being inserted in here. There. Now we actually brought this file in there. Right click, we could also say move or copy. So I will copy this, for example, to this project. And there, you see, I made a broader copy to there. So again, now because this is all stored online, we don't locally move files around or copy and paste. So it's solved a little bit different, but I hope you saw that essentially this is more or less really the same. Last thing I wanted to point out, you see that this piece I brought in has actually a chain. That means that the file in this project is actually dynamically linked in here. So shall I save this file? This file has a link reference to here, meaning this I can't really delete. So you can nest files. I'm only bringing this up just to make you aware of it. When we start nesting files more, I will remind you and show you this more in detail, but I just thought it is good for you to understand. This is, for example, very useful. Let's say you make cabinets and you have a door that can be used in multiple projects. Then you have here a door, which we link into other projects, for example. Okay, that's now really it.